Good morning, Covington County. Welcome to Good News Covington County with Brother John, Cousin Tom, and Cousin Jarrett, and the cameras and all this other kind of stuff. It's a wonderful day. It's Tuesday, the 15th day of May, 2018. We're glad to have you here with us today. Our first segment this morning is brought to you by the Roadrunner Car Wash, Andalusia's newest and finest car wash. Roadrunner, say that a bunch of times in a row. Roadrunner Car Wash is located at the intersection of Western Martin Luther King Parkway and Prestwood Bridge Road. They're doing a soft opening right now, but the quality of their car washes and detail services can't be beat, and their prices will get your attention too. So if you want your car to look its best for a little dough, go to the Roadrunner Car Wash today. And if you see Mr. Floyd there, tell him we said hi. Now on to our news from Andalusia and the surrounding area. Of course, you know most of our news comes to us courtesy of the Andalusia Star News, and we want to give attribution for these stories to the Star News. And our first story is a weather story, and it's been written by Laurie Stinson of the Star News. I don't know if you noticed strange things in the weather, but the weather's changing a little bit. In fact, cover of today's Andalusia Star News actually had a weather map of the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean. That means there's some strange things going on out in the Gulf, things that are a little bit weird for this time of year. And we're going to talk about that in just a second. Here's this article by Lacey Stinson. It says, it's more than 2 weeks until the beginning of the hurricane season, but the National Hurricane Center has had its eye on a disturbance in the Gulf since this weekend. The forecasters give us a 30% chance of this turning into a tropical storm, but by last night, the chance had decreased to only 10%. My resident weather expert, Arthritis McDaniel, says he believes it'll become a tropical disturbance, and among other things that it might be called Alberto or Alvarine or anything like that, but it'll probably start with an A. The system is expected to bring heavy rainfall and possible flash flooding to parts of Florida and Alabama. Although the heavy rainfall is expected, the storms are not expected to be continuous during this time. Some rain can be expected on Tuesday, with heavier rain Wednesday and Thursday, and then possibly rain 40-50% on Friday. The conditions are expected to continue through the weekend. Temperatures will remain in the 80s, but this will be slightly cooler because of the storm system. For information on this, go to https://www.nhc.noaa.gov/gtwo.php, or just go looking for the National Hurricane Center on the internet. In other news locally, the AMVETs have taken time to recognize outstanding police officers in this area. Sunday marks the day of the start of National Police Week, and there are more festivities at many departments than there will be this week. AMVET's post number 23 in Opp, Alabama, honored one officer in each department here in the county, chosen for their dedication to their work. Officers of the year are Joshua Hudson, Opp Police Department; Kevin Norris, Andalusia Police Department; Jessica McGraw of the Florida Police Department; and Joe Snyder from the Covington County Sheriff's Office. Opp Police Chief Michael McDonald said that he had chosen Hudson for his dedication. We hired him in 2014, he said, as a patrol officer, and we moved him over to the Drug Task Force, he said. Hudson demonstrated total dedication. He worked day, he worked nights, he worked his days off. He worked his duty days, and then he worked some days when he wasn't on duty. I appreciate that kind of devotion, and it's a big deal for me. I'm proud to have him in our department. Andalusia Police Chief Paul Hudson said that Norris was also chosen for his dedication. He's very dedicated and takes his job to heart, he says. He does it well. He volunteered to take a 6-week-old German Shepherd puppy we were trying to find a home for. We tested the dog to see if it would make a good canine, and he passed the test. Hudson said Norris trained the dog himself. From there, Kevin did all the dog's training on his own and on his days off. He never asked for any overtime. He knew that our department and our community needed a dog to be a better place. Florida Police Chief Sonny Bledsoe named Jessica McGraw the Assistant Chief of Police Officer of the Year for her work. I wanted Jessica to be recognized for all the hard work she has done in the past year, which is a hard plate to handle. Bledsoe said Jessica keeps the computer equipment going when it breaks down. She's great at dealing with the public, listening to the problems, and she's a shoulder to cry on, so to speak. Jessica also handles the K9 side of things for the Florida Police Department. She's turned into an awesome police officer and friend. Thank you for all you do for the Florida PD. And then Dennis Meeks, our sheriff, named Joe Snyder Deputy of the Year for Covington County. Joe has been with us since 1999, and he started out as a resource officer. As part of his responsibilities, he had to maintain the safety of our children in schools and serves as a mentor, not just for children, but other resource officers. Meeks said that Snyder goes above and beyond for his duty. He is a supervisor of 3 other resource officers, and the sheriff's office is very fortunate to have Joe as a member of our family. He works beyond his resources and responsibility. He's a leader, and he has integrity. To everyone that's a family member or police officer, the AMVETS wants you to know that they have that they support them completely. In 2017, we had 135 officers die. This year to date, we've had 53 officers die in the line of duty, and 30 that died as a result of homicide. We're also recognizing the living for their dedication, McDonald said. That said, we're going to stop for a minute and take a break. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back to Good News Covington County. The 15th of May, halfway through this month. What a great day in 2018. Our next news is brought to you courtesy of Bauer Auto Parts, located at 304 East Cumming Avenue in Opp, Alabama. If you need auto parts, check out the best 4-letter words in the auto parts business, NAPA, Napa. At Bauer Auto Parts, call Jamie or call Jackie or any of the crew at Bauer Auto Parts at 334-493-4017. They're a perfect resource for all your auto parts and heavy duty parts, as well as hydraulic systems needs, hoses, fittings, etc. That's right, that's Bauer Auto Parts in Opp, Alabama. In other news, we've got and this is a great story by Christopher Smith with the Andalusia Star News, and I'm really surprised at the story. The title is BOE, Board of Education, Ready for Track Bids. The Covington County Board of Education agreed to let bids for their new track and field facility at a special call meeting on Monday. Architect Walter McGee estimated the total cost for the facility without the lights included would be around $3.3 million. In February, the board purchased 110 acres of land located off Highway 55, which Superintendent Shannon Driver described as centrally located and within 20 to 22 minutes driving distance from each of the county schools. The first challenge that the contractors will face is moving 60,000 cubic yards of dirt. I bet they can find somebody that'll buy that, though. That will be our biggest task, McKee said. It should take about 2 or 3 months to move all of the dirt. McKee said the track itself will be 12 feet below the rim of the concourse, and Driver believes it will be the only facility like it in the state. I have never been to a track where you can see every event, Driver said, and I think ours will be available for that. McKee said that the facility was designed to maximize the view of the audience. An 8-lane track itself will be made of urethane, which McKee says is mostly used by colleges. The track will have adjacent spaces for high jump, pole vault, long jump, and triple jump events. I think if we use the urethane foam, just the urethane, then it will last longer and cut costs in the long run, McGee said. The faculty will probably be one of the only high school schools in the state to have this material on its track. There is also extra acreage to build a 5,000-meter cross-country course on this facility. They will have parking for 130 spaces in the parking lot and 9 spaces for buses. This is an area for extra parking in the grass if that's needed. The facility will have 500 seats for the fans as well as pavilions for fans to set up lawn chairs. There will also be seats for the handicap accessibility and a handicap ramp. Each team will have a storage area, and there will be two 1,000-foot pavilions that are in the shade. Now, there's a sad story that we have to share with you today, too, and that's about the Mesa family and their memorial for Lauren Mesa. The members of Lauren Wayne Mesa's family wore bright-colored shirts and held a bright neon signs bearing messages at a memorial for Lauren Mesa. Whether or not drivers read the sign, the family members said that they saw drivers who needed the messages. There were so many of them that were on their phone, said Samantha Watson, Lauren's aunt who organized the event. She said that hundreds of drivers passed by on Saturday while they were out at the event. She planned the event to memorialize her nephew. She also wanted to bring awareness to the cause of distracted driving. It was the second year the family braved the heat of Mother's Day weekend to remind people of the son, grandson, nephew, and cousins whose life ended tragically 2 years ago when he died as a result of injuries sustained in a motorcycle wreck on Highway 29 north of Andalusia. Mesa was only 15. His mother, Louise Holliday, said Saturday that she planned to spend time at her son's grave on Mother's Day. Thanksgiving, she said, we cooked and we went to the cemetery to eat. We had birthday parties there and unwrapped Christmas gifts. It just doesn't feel right to do it without him. On May 13, 2016, Mesa was traveling north on Highway 29 and had brought his 1994 Harley Davidson motorcycle to a complete stop and prior to making a left turn onto Lee Lane, according to the accident report filled out by the Alabama State Troopers. According to the report, Mesa was struck from behind by a 2008 Ford Expedition. The driver of the Expedition from Andalusia was not criminally charged in the accident, and a Covington County grand jury did not find cause to indict him, said a press release from District Attorney Walt Merrill's offices. Members of the Mesa family currently have a civil suit pending against the driver. Lauren Wayne Mason was also the son of Lauren Justin Mesa. He was a student at Andalusia High School. And that's our news for this segment. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back to Good News Covington County with Brother John and the rest of the usual suspects. Our local news is brought to you by the folks at Andalusia Tire Company. Brought to you by Andalusia Tire Company, located at 850 Western Bypass in Andalusia. If you've got a flat tire on anything from your bicycle to that Terragator spreading fertilizer out in the field, your best choice to get rolling in a hurry is at Andalusia Tire Company. Call Jimbo, Todd, and Greg Caton at 334-222-3136 for your tire and chassis needs. Andalusia Tire Company can get you tires from just about anybody that you'd want to get tires from. You want a certain brand? Call them. They'll be able to get you the tire. And I'll tell you this, they're just as fine of folks as you'll ever meet. In other news locally, and this is a big story as far as I'm concerned, again from the Andalusia Star News, article by Christopher Smith about a young lady that graduated from Andalusia High School named Lauren Schaefer. She'll add her name to a list of vocalists who have performed at Carnegie Hall as she travels with Troy University and their concert chorale in New York City next week. Schaefer's been in the Troy University concert chorale for, and that's chorale spelled with a CH, not the kind like you got horses in, for 2 years, and will travel with the 37-voice group to New York City for 4 days next week to sing at Carnegie Hall. It's super humbling, Schaefer said, just to come from a small town in Alabama and now to be singing at Carnegie Hall. I never dreamed of having such an opportunity. The group will perform on May 25th and stay in New York City for 4 days before the performance, and during that time they'll rehearse for the performance. This will be Schaefer's first time to New York City. The choir had various fundraisers and benefit concerts to make sure they could afford the trip. We reached out to several people for donations, Schaefer said. She said that Troy University Foundation was the first group to donate money toward the trip. The students' director felt inspired by their ability to rally together. A year ago, when we knew we had to raise all this money, we were determined we would leave no one behind, Dr. Diane Orlovsky said. Orlovsky said it was amazing to see 37 young people come together to raise the money. Schaefer said the people and the relationships she made have been the best part of being in the corral. Once you're a part of this group, you become family. The show will highlight several compositions from Dr. Eric Barnum, who invited the choir to sing at Carnegie Hall. Schaefer's parents were ecstatic when they found out the news. Her dad knows about Carnegie Hall's reputation, and a little more so than that, he was thrilled. Schaefer said he has family in New York, so he has been to the Carnegie Hall on several occasions. Along with being part of the concert chorale, Schaefer is also part of Frequency, the Troy University vocal jazz group, where she has several solos, and she is part of a worship team at Pursuit, a college student-led worship group. Schaefer is majoring in counseling with a minor in music industry at Troy University, and she says her dream job after graduating from Troy would be to become a worship leader. In another story by Christopher Smith, and this is the second story this week regarding foster parents in Covington County, the second one in Andalusia Star News in 2 weeks. The Covington County Department of Human Resources celebrated National Foster Care Month by hosting a foster parent night out on Saturday night. Andalusia High School peer helpers, along with volunteers from DHR and the Bethany Baptist Church, helped babysit foster kids as their parents went out to eat. I think all the parents really appreciated what they did, Resource and Adult Service Supervisor Natalie Pinson said. There were no kids at their dinner. Amazing. And I think they just had a very special night. Pinson said that 17 couples showed up for the event and brought 20 kids. Covington County's foster parents are some of the finest folks that you'll meet. They do impact the children's lives greatly. Pinson said the statement that she hears mostly is, "This child has changed our life." And I think that's an important thing. Pinson said years ago she was told that Covington County would never be able to get many foster parents in the county. They have grown from 8 homes to 31. We have a strong recruitment effort and influence over current foster families, but 31 homes is still not enough to care for the 58 children we have in foster care. We have even more children who are at risk of coming into foster care at any moment. The Foster Parents Night Out will wind up the events for the DHR for the month of May, which started with the Blue Ribbon event. Pinson said that the following businesses and local people made the Saturday night event possible: Shaw Industries, Macy Hamilton Jesse, an attorney at law, Diane Mock, an attorney at law, Rod Sylvester, an attorney at law, District Judge Julie S. Moody, David's Catfish House, Golden Rule Barbecue, and CJ's Grill, the Andalusia High School peer helpers, and Bethany Church. I know they were all greatly appreciated for what they did there, and I know the parents had to appreciate them. We'll be back in just a minute with more news. Our next news is brought to you by courtesy of the people at Darby's Medical Center Pharmacy, located across the street from Andalusia Health Campus, and Darby's original Village Prescription Center, located at 301A East 3 Notch. No matter which side of town you live on, Darby's has a pharmacy near you, with professional local pharmacists and prices that are competitive with any of the big chains. Darby's is your best choice for your pharmacy needs. Call Laura and the other pharmacists at 582-3784 if you need help at the South 3 Notch store, or David and his highly qualified staff of professionals at 222-8825 at the East 3 Notch location. That's over there by CCB. Now, in our first news, and this is Story by Michelle Gerlach. Covington County Republican Sheriff's candidate Blake Turman was hospitalized Monday after being transferred by an ambulance. Turman said on social media, "I had a health scare earlier today. Due to a team of skilled doctors and many prayers, I am doing great. And I had a routine procedure, and the doctors and I expect me to make a full recovery and be back at work on the campaign trail in the next few days. Thank you for all your prayers, thoughts, and concerns. We look forward in the next couple of weeks to serving our community even more." Turman is a subject to the June 5th Republican primary. Now, my son Benjamin and I were over at the Andalusia Hospital campus yesterday to see Dr. Patrick Kelly about something, and we noticed Blake's truck turn into the pharmacy, and so we went over there just to check on him. I did not know at that time that he'd had a problem. He was stopping to get some meds he'd been prescribed. He looked great. He did tell me that he'd had a little problem. He says, "But I feel great." He looked great. He was driving the car. So apparently it was something they could adjust in a hurry. He told us that what had happened, we had no idea, just in talking to him, that he'd had any trouble at all. Now, an important thing that is happening today, and it is weather related, is the full tummy golf tournament. If it rains today, the tournament may be rescheduled for June. This is an important event because these people do a lot of good all over Covington County. I'll read the story that Lacey Stinson wrote. Rain may be a good thing for this area, but it's not a good thing for the Full Tummy Project's biggest fundraiser. If rain becomes an issue, the annual golf tournament will be rescheduled for a Tuesday in June, the organizer Katie King said. The fundraiser was originally scheduled for Tuesday, May 15th at 1 p.m. That's this afternoon, with lunch before the event. We'll make the call whether or not we need to cancel the tournament today at 10 a.m. We'll reschedule for a Tuesday in June if necessary. King said that around 14 or 15 teams signed up for the event. There'll be about 60 golfers and 40 hole sponsors, she said. Now this is important. Full Tummy is a 501c3 organization that collects easily made food items for children that are at risk of going without food during the weekends when they're not in school. And it works like this. If a teacher recognizes that there's a child that doesn't have food at home or has a high probability of not having food, all these children have backpacks, and sometimes during the day, this teacher will make sure that, thanks to the Full Tummy Project, that there's food, canned vegetables, canned meats, those kind of things, that the child can take home and have food through the weekend. And I just think that's an admirable thing to do. Just last year, more than 250 children per week in local schools were given food. The tournament is our largest fundraiser, King said. I really hope that we don't have to cancel it. I hope they don't either. I hope that the rain stays away until we can get a break in it. In other news of a public service announcement, the city of Andalusia will be closed Monday, May 28th for Memorial Day. Garbage and recycling will be picked up on Tuesday, May 29th for both Monday and Tuesday's routes. Please have garbage and recycling out early. Please contact the street department with any questions at 222-3316. Now we're going to take a break in just a minute, but before I go, I want to encourage you to please go to our Facebook page and make your comments. Like us if you can, and then go and do yourself and ourselves a favor as well. Go to YouTube. We've got some great videos, and we're building a bigger library there. Like us and give us some views there. We'll appreciate that support. We'll be back in just a minute with more news. Welcome back to Good News Covington County, May 15th, Tuesday edition, 2018. Oh man, what a great day out there. Look, there's a little overcast. Got a chance of rain maybe this evening or tonight. The news that we're going to have in a minute is going to be brought to you by Andalusia's newest supermarket, an independently owned Piggly Wiggly. Piggly Wiggly is busy stocking the shelves at their new store, soon to open at the old Winn-Dixie location at 1130 Dr. Martin Luther King Expressway in Andalusia. You'll be able to soon meet Tim, the store manager, the coach, and a lot of your old friends from the Winn-Dixie days. Hey, we've already met these folks, and they're going to do a great business here in Andalusia. And their meat department is still going to be the best in town. Piggly Wiggly opening soon for all your grocery needs. Now for more news. This is just a quick reminder that we've discussed this earlier, and we're going to do it again. An important fundraiser is coming up on May 19th. That's this weekend, and that's the annual Little Black Dress fundraiser. The program is affiliated with the Dolly Parton Imagination Library, which helps provide the books at reduced cost to children. Every child's first book is The Little Engine That Could, and the last one is Look Out Kindergarten, Here I Come. This is the only fundraiser that the Literacy Foundation has here in Covington County. They are able to buy these books through the Dolly Parton Imagination Library at a very reduced cost. Their biggest expense is, in fact, the cost to ship the books from wherever they're assembled and to the homes of the individual children. At any time, there are about 900 children in Covington County that are reading these books. There's no charge to the child, and they're registered as soon as they're born into the county. Individual tickets for this event are $100. A table of 6 tickets is $500, and a corporate sponsorship is $1,000. Tickets are available at Harold's. Speaking of Harold's, you know, things change in Andalusia. You don't even notice them sometimes. Folks, you need to take a few minutes and go by the old Harold's Furniture location by the post office on East 39th Street and see the new Harold's. They've completely remodeled and reset that building. The inside of the store has got new furniture lines, it's got new designs, new displays, new art, everything else. The furniture is displayed differently, and they've now remodeled and enhanced the inside, and they've added a flooring center located on the east side of the building. The outside of the building has been refurbished, it's been recolored, repainted, and shines like a new silver dollar. Andalusia, you owe it if you're an Andalusian, you owe it to yourself to go by the new Harold's. It's got lots of the same people, lots of the same faces, but an entirely new look and outlook. In sports news, playing for the title, Andalusia readies for a championship series. The Andalusia Bulldogs, 28-4, will compete for their first state title on the diamond when they take on the Hoax Bluff, who has a 27-6 record today in the Class 4A state championship at Patterson Field in Montgomery. This is something that everyone has talked about starting in January, Andalusia coach Tyler Dent said. Now, there are only 14 teams that get a chance to do it, and we're fortunate enough to be one of those. We set out with this as our number one goal. We continued to reach our short-term goals, and now we have a chance to reach our long-term goal. It's very exciting. Dent says he knows Hoax Bluff is going to be a challenge. Like any team at this point, they're really good. If they're here, they wouldn't be in the playoffs if they weren't. They have a few arms that have a good do a good job of pounding the strike zone. They don't have any overpowering stuff, but they do a great job commanding the strike zone. They've stressed this all through the weekend. The Bulldogs are excited about playing for the title, but Dent said they have to remain focused on the task at hand. Their attitude has been like it has been for the past 4 or 5 months, said Coach Dent. They have the same approach they've had all year. They are who they are, and they're one of the best parts of being head coach is seeing guys like this figure things out. When the first game of the series we played at Patterson Field, While that's right, Game 2 and Game 3 will be played at the Riverwalk Stadium in Montgomery. The outfield at the Riverwalk is bigger than what we're used to, said Dent. We have to do a good job of getting to the balls. That goes both ways. It could just as easily help us as it does them. Dent says that he hopes to see a lot of Bulldog fans in Montgomery today and on Wednesday. I hope to see our community come out and continue to support this team, Dent said. We have a tremendous support this season. The crowd at the Hopefield game was incredible. They have that kind of support. To have that kind of support at Andalusia baseball game is amazing. I would love to see that kind of support this week in Montgomery. In other sports news, the Lady Bobcats from Mott swept their way to the state tournament in softball by beating Geneva 10-4 to clinch the 2018 Class 3A South Regional Championship at Gulf Shores. Gracie Ann Spears, Maggie Short, Lauren Proctor, Arian Hightower, and I said Lauren Proctor, Lauren Prater, and the team did a great job. And just very, very proud of them. They played a tough game and then went on to win the championship and go on to state. Opp held off Geneva in the top of the 7th to claim the 2018 Class 3A Regional Championship. The Lady Bobcats will face Prattville Christian on Thursday in the opening round of the Class 3A state tournament in Montgomery at 10:45 a.m. And we'll be right back after this with some more news. Our final news, weather, buzzard report, and fishing tables are brought to you by Anthony King and all the outfitters and guides at Fletcher's Outdoor in Andalusia. If you need expert advice on what's biting on the local lakes, ask the folks at Fletcher's. They'll not only tell you what's biting, they'll also be able to tell you what they're being caught on. For all your hunting and fishing needs, even the coolers and the ice, check with Fletcher's Outdoors, located at the corner of Martin Luther King Bypass and the Brooklyn Road. Oh yeah, if you're hungry, Fletcher's has a breakfast buffet that's worth waking up for and a lunch buffet that's worth fighting over. First for you today is our buzzard report, coming to you from high atop the Covington County Courthouse, where our fearless raptor observer, Tonsillitis Brooks, reports that there were as many as 18 buzzards seen there today. They've gone by now, but they're no doubt preparing themselves for the upcoming rain and weather changing. Now for our weather report, fishing weather report. Tuesday, May 15th, ought to be a great day for fishing in local waters. In fact, according to the Bassmaster Solomon table, Tuesday should be the best day to fish in the month of May. Peak fishing time should be from 11:55 a.m. until 3:01 p.m. during daylight hours, and from midnight to 2:33 a.m. tomorrow morning as the moon begins to grow. Should be great fishing according to this, the highest number for any day this month. Finally, for our local weather, showers and thunderstorms are likely after 7 a.m. Cloudy with a high near 85. Northwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour, and chance precipitation is about 70%. New rainfall amounts between 1/10 and 1/4 inch are expected. You can have higher possible amounts if there's a thunderstorm associated with the rain. Tuesday night, that's tonight, a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms for our area. Mostly cloudy with a low around 69 or 70. Northwest west wind will be 5 miles an hour with new rainfall amounts, again between 1/10 and 1/4 inch, except where there are thunderstorms. Wednesday, we'll have showers and thunderstorms likely. Cloudy with a high near 84, east wind around 5 miles an hour, and a chance of precipitation at 70%. Wednesday night, a chance of about 50% storms and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy with a low around 66 and east wind around 5 miles an hour. I'd like to mention something. There's a big weather front that goes from Texas up through Missouri and the Midwest that will be moving this way in the next couple of days. So the effects of this rain could continue on into the weekend and maybe Monday or Tuesday of next week. If this tropical depression in the Gulf collides with this rain, it could make for some pretty interesting weather events. So y'all stay tuned to the Weather Channel, and to us, if we hear any other things, we'll be letting you know about the weather. We thank you for watching us today, and we ask you to remember two things. Be kind to one another and shop local. See you tomorrow.